I am thrilled to show you the newest iPhones. Introducing the iPhone 6s and the iPhone 6s Plus. We are driven to innovate at Apple. You've seen that all morning. And no product is more about innovation than the iPhone. From the very start, the iPhone has been about bringing innovations that are really important in people's daily lives. And as a result, iPhone has changed the world. What we have to show you today is really awesome. And while they may look familiar, we have changed everything about these new iPhones. The team has worked incredibly hard to deliver new capabilities that are truly meaningful in our lives. The iPhones you are about to see are the most advanced iPhones ever. And in fact, they are the most advanced smartphones in the world. To walk you through them, I'd like to invite Phil back up to the stage. Phil?
Well, I am truly honored to represent all of the incredible teams at Apple that have worked so hard on this product and be the one to present them to you now, because these new iPhones are absolutely beautiful, the most incredible iPhones we've ever made. This is the brand new rose gold aluminum finish. And while it may look the same, this is an entirely new aluminum. It is an Apple custom alloy of 7000 series aluminum, the same alloys that are used in the aerospace industry. The new iPhone 6s comes in 4 metal finishes: silver, gold, space gray, and the new rose gold. And it comes in 2 sizes: the iPhone 6s with its 4.7-inch retina display, and the 6s Plus with its 5.5-inch retina display. And those displays are covered by a brand new glass that's the strongest in the industry. It's made with a dual ion exchange process, and they're incredibly durable. Perhaps the most profound feature iPhone has ever brought to the world is multi-touch. Right? Multi-touch has changed how we interact with our devices. It taught us about pinch and zoom and swipe. And it's truly a profound innovation. So our team's been hard at work trying to imagine how you take multi-touch to the next generation and further deliver a new experience that's just as profound as the first multi-touch. And they've really done it. It's called 3D Touch. 3D Touch is a tremendous breakthrough in interacting with our devices. We have a great video to introduce it to you now.
With iPhone and multi-touch, we introduced a whole new way to interact with technology. Tapping, swiping, and pinching have forever changed the way we navigate and experience our digital world. Until now, these gestures have been defined by a singular plane in 2-dimensional space. For iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, we're introducing an entirely new interaction and a whole new dimension to the way you experience your iPhone. It's made possible by a technology called 3D Touch. This is the next generation of multi-touch. For the first time, Along with recognizing familiar gestures, iPhone also recognizes force, enabling new gestures, peek and pop. "3D Touch" works on the home screen, giving you shortcuts to the things you do frequently. It also works inside applications themselves. Press lightly, and it gives you a peek at the content. Continue pressing, and it pops you into the content itself. Sensors embedded in the display read how hard you're pressing and react in a smooth, linear way. This is a dynamic system, deeply integrated into iOS 9. You can dip in and out of where you are without losing a sense of your context. It provides distinct, tactile feedback for your actions, letting you know exactly what you've done and what to expect. While the way that you use 3D Touch is simple, the engineering behind it is some of our most advanced. At its heart are capacitive sensors integrated into the backlight of the Retina HD display. With each press, these sensors measure microscopic changes in the distance between the cover glass and the backlight. These measurements are then combined with signals from the touch sensor and accelerometer to provide fast, accurate, and continuous response to finger pressure. For a truly communicative experience, we had to develop a more precise level of haptic feedback. While the vibrating system on a typical phone requires 10 or more oscillations to reach full power, the Taptic engine in iPhone 6s reaches peak output in just one cycle and stops just as quickly. This allows us to create shorter, more distinct feedback events, like a mini tap lasting just 10 milliseconds and a full tap which lasts 15 milliseconds. Perhaps more than any other system we've designed, 3D Touch is a clear example of how hardware and software developed together can work to define a singular experience. This is the next generation of multi-touch. It makes this iPhone the most advanced iPhone we have ever created.
We asked ourselves, how could we take iPad even further? Today, we have the biggest news in iPad since the iPad. And I am thrilled to show it to you. This is the iPad Pro. It's the most capable and powerful iPad we've ever created. It is chock full of amazing advanced technologies and innovation. To tell you all about it, I'd like to invite Phil Schiller up. Phil?
Thank you, Tim. Well, good morning, everyone. Woo. Thank you. Thank you. I am so excited to tell you about this incredible new iPad Pro. It has a huge screen, the biggest we've ever built in an iOS device. It has more power and performance than any iOS device we've ever made either. But let's start with that display. Why make an iPad with a bigger display? With a larger display, well, think about the iPad from the very beginning. It's a magical piece of glass you hold in your hands, and you can touch the software. You can touch the web pages we surf. We can touch the books we read. We can touch the documents we create. And it can do things that a smartphone can't do because it doesn't have to fit in your pocket. And it's thin and light enough to hold all day long so that it can do things that a notebook can't do. So with a bigger screen iPad, your TV shows and movies are more cinematic. The games we play are more immersive and powerful. And an iPad is always a multi-touch device. So now with the bigger iPad Pro, you can have a full-size software keyboard. So you can type in your documents with this great big keyboard. And keyboards can do many things, like be an amazing musical instrument. Yeah, somebody likes music. We can do something on an iPad that you can't do on a notebook. And the new multitasking features in iOS 9, slide over, split view, picture-in-picture, were designed with this iPad Pro in mind. They make it so much more productive and capable. So how big is the screen on the iPad Pro? It's 12.9 inches on that diagonal. Why 12.9 inches? Well, here, let me tell you a little secret about its size. Let's put next to it our previous largest iPad. That's iPad Air 2. If you look at the width of the iPad Pro, it is the same as the height of the iPad Air. And then we take that height and we make a 4:3 ratio. And now you have an iPad big enough to run your full iPad Air apps with more room side by side. It is an incredible display. It is 2732 by 2048 pixels. Do the math, it's 5.6 million pixels. Far more than on any iOS device before. In fact, that's even more pixels than a 15-inch MacBook Pro with retina display. It is a beautiful display. Your photos will look amazing on it. Huge, incredibly detailed, rich colors. Your documents will be full size with laser-sharp text. And I'll say it again, watching movies on it is incredible. It's an amazing experience. This is the most advanced display we have ever built. It took some incredible innovation in technology. For example, we used the technology that we created in the iMac with Retina 5K display and its timing controller to drive all those pixels quickly. We made it look beautiful with our photo alignment technique, which means it has great on-axis contrast ratio. It's made of the best oxide TFT material, which means we can light up the pixels quickly and have uniform color and brightness. And for the first time in an Apple display, it has a variable refresh rate. That means that if things aren't moving quickly on the display, we can slow it down and save energy. This is an amazing display. And inside it, something even more amazing, the chip that powers it. This is the new A9X chip. It's our third generation 64-bit chip. We've doubled bandwidth to memory. We've doubled the read and write performance to flash storage. It is so fast. How fast is it? The new A9X is 1.8 times faster than the A8X it replaces. This is desktop class performance. To compare what our team has done, our chip team is just on fire. Over the last 5 years, they've grown performance in the iPad 22-fold for CPU tasks. And graphics tasks are even faster. We've doubled the performance of graphics over the A8X. And over the last 5 years, this is unbelievable. Graphics performance has gone up 360 times. The biggest jump in this year alone. You combine that fast hardware with great software, like in iOS 9, our Metal libraries for writing games and applications directly to that graphics chips, and you get incredible performance. But here's another way to think about how fast iPad Pro is. It is faster than 80% of the portable PCs that shipped in the last 12 months. Yes. That's at CPU tasks. At graphics tasks, it's faster than 90% of them. So when you run tasks and applications that we all love to use, they get incredibly fast. For example, iMovie. Running iMovie on an iPad Pro delivers desktop-class performance. With iMovie, you can now edit 3 streams of 4K video simultaneous. That's incredible performance. And it's going to enable new classes of applications for iPad. For example, check this out. This is AutoCAD 360 from Autodesk. It's an incredibly powerful application. This image has 320,000 objects in its wireframe mesh. And you can zoom in and pan around it with buttery 60 frame per second smoothness, something you can't do on a PC. And all that power comes with all-day battery life, 10 hours of battery life. So we've got an amazing display, incredible performance, great battery life. So we thought this display deserves a great sound system. And so for the first time ever in an Apple product, we now have a 4-speaker audio system. And it automatically balances the left and the right depending on how you're holding the iPad. And it balances the frequencies between the top and the bottom dynamically to create a beautiful stereo sound stage. And it puts out 3 times the audio volume of an iPad Air 2. You really have to listen to it. It's amazing. And that's packed into a device that's incredibly thin and light. Here's the iPad Pro. Let's bring in the iPad Air underneath it. And you can see they're both amazingly thin. The iPad Pro is just 6.9 millimeters thin. The iPad Air, 6.1. Very, very close. What about the weight of it? Well, here, let's bring in the original first iPad. It's kind of fun. They're both just around 1.5 pounds, which is unbelievable because the iPad Pro has a 78% larger screen area. It has 360 times more graphics power. It is thin and light enough to hold all day and powerful enough to take everywhere, whether you want to watch movies in the park or edit a film on location. This is an amazing iPad. iPad Pro is going to enable new classes of applications that require even greater precision ever possible before. A new level of precision and accuracy that requires some amazing innovation. So we're so happy to introduce to you another brand new accessory specifically for iPad Pro. It looks like this. It's called Apple Pencil. And this Apple Pencil is packed with so much amazing new technology. We have a great video to tell you all about it now.
Touch, of course, is the primary method of interaction with iPad. To enhance what's possible with multi-touch and to allow for a new level of precision with iPad Pro, we've designed Apple Pencil. This began by re-engineering the touch subsystem of the display to measure both finger and stylus input on the same plane with optimal accuracy. When you're using the pencil, the system scans twice as often, allowing iPad Pro to capture more points in a single stroke. Highly responsive sensors built into the tip of Apple Pencil work with the iPad Pro display to detect position, force, and tilt. With force data, you can press lightly to get a thin stroke or press harder to get a darker, bolder stroke. signals emitted from two locations in the tip calculate the angle and orientation to produce broad or shaded strokes. Its unique tip signature allows it to be used simultaneously with your finger. And with incredibly low latency, it has a responsiveness that feels like a true writing or drawing instrument. While its battery lasts for hours of use, a Lightning connector lets you recharge by plugging directly into iPad Pro. Apple Pencil is designed to look and feel like a familiar tool. Yet with its carefully engineered technology, working with our most advanced multi-touch display, it delivers something extraordinary. Precision that actually gives you the ability to touch a single pixel.